Hello students, today we are going to study about the second chapter of our grammar workbook, which is questions. As we have learned in chapter number 1, the sentences, a sentence begins with a capital letter and it always ends with a full stop. So similarly, even a question begins with a capital letter and ends with a question mark, not a full stop, but a question mark. So, what is a question? If we want an answer of something, we ask a question. Who do we ask a question to? We ask questions to other people. Can we ask questions to non-living things? No, we cannot. So, we always ask questions to people. In this lesson, we are going to know about questions, how to form them, what are the question words, and how do we use the question words. Okay, let's get into it. So let's just see a few examples. This is an example of a small question. The question is, who is your teacher? As you can see, W, the first word of the question, is in capital letter. The question ends with a question mark. And who is a question word. Most of the question words start with WH, but not all. Other words can be question words too, like do, is, how. Okay, let's see another example. Where do you stay? Where is a question word and there is a question mark. So this is a proper question. How will you go home? Like I said, not all question words begin with WH. How in this question is a question word. And here's the question mark. Don't forget to add the capital letter in the start of the question. So these three examples of question which we have seen, these are proper questions. They all begin with capital letter and they all end with a question mark. Over here, who, where and how are the question words. And the questions end with question mark. Now we will see about how the question words are used, when and how to use the question words. Let's see the first one. Who. Who is a question word, okay? This who question word is used to ask about people. For example, let's see. Who. Who are you talking to? Who we are talking. Suppose I am talking to someone and you have to ask me, who am I talking to? I am obviously talking to another person. So it is related to a person. That is why I use WHO, who. And who is a question word. Let's see an example. Who is going to the school? As you can see in the picture, there's a girl who is going to a school. She is obviously a person. So that is why we used who. Who is always used in respect to people or person. The next question word is where. Where is used to ask about places. For example, if you have forgotten your book, where you have kept it, you ask your mom, Mom, where's my book? So the book is obviously at some place, right? That is why we use where in the beginning of the question. Like, Mom, where's my book? Let's see another example of where. In this example, it says, where does a fish swim? The fish swims in water, right? Water is a place where fish is swimming. That is why we use where as the question mark in the beginning of the sentence. The next question word is how. How does not begin with WH, but it is still a question word. How is used to ask about descriptions or manner of doing something. Let's see. First, description. What is a description? Okay, if your mom cooks you some tasty food and she asks you, how is the food cooked today? So you tell her, Mom, the food is good, right? Yes. So that is the description of the food. And we are using how to ask how the food is. Let's see. Manner of doing something. Okay. You have a lot of homework to do. And your mom asks you, how are you going to do this homework? Or if you don't understand a math sum, you ask your teacher, Ma'am, how do I solve this sum? So that is the manner of doing something. You are asking how to solve the homework, right? So that is why we use how with descriptions or manner of doing something. Let's see another example of how. How will you go home? By car. You ask yourself now, by car is a description or is it a manner of doing something? What is it? By car. Is it description? No. I am going to home by car. That is the manner of doing something. I am going to home by car. So that is why we use how. Okay. There are more question words which begin with WH. Now let's see them. This is an example of what. What are you going to buy? The boy is buying the toys, right? Like who we use for people. We use what for things. What question word is used to ask questions about things or objects? For example, what are you eating? I am eating a chocolate. Chocolate is an object, right? So we use what. Okay, let's see another question word. When do you eat dinner? So now we are using when. When is used to describe, to ask questions about time. So the answer is we eat dinner at night. So night is a time, right? So we use when question word while using time, date, day. Okay. So for example, when is your birthday? My birthday is on 31st March, right? So 31st March is a date, right? So we use when because it's a date. Let's see one more example. When is used to ask about time, like I said. The next question word is why. And the example is, why are you eating food? Okay. The answer will be, because I'm very hungry. Okay. So when do we use why? Why is used to ask the reasons. So what is a reason? Teachers always say to you, right? Why are you shouting? Why are you talking? Okay. So they're asking you, why are you shouting in the class? So she's asking you the reason, right? Why are you doing your homework? So when we want to know the reason of something, we use the question word why. So as we have learned what are questions and what are question words, let's try and solve some exercises. So what I want you to do is take a pen and a book and write down all the answers. Pause this video, write your answers, and when you're finished, press play. So I hope that you have all the answers. So let's cross check it with me. The first answer is, how old are you? Where do you come from? When is your birthday? What time is it, please? Who do you live with? Where is a bottle of water? Why are you crying? And which cakes would you like? So let's go through the question words once again. How old are you? How is the question word which is used to know the amount. So how old are you? I am 6 years old. So 6 will be the answer, anything. Where do you come from? Where? Where is a place? You come from Nasik, right? So Nasik is a place. So if someone asks you the question, where do you come from? The answer will be Nasik. So I come from Nasik. Nasik is a place. Hence we use the question word where. When is your birthday? Your birthday will be on some date. So what is date? Date is some time. It is a word associated with time. So hence we used when with birthday. My birthday is on 31st May. So 31st May is a date. So that is why we used when. What time is it, please? So what we use what question word to know what time is it, please. Who do you live with? Who will be the question word which is used to know about people, which is used to ask questions about people. Where is a bottle of water? Where will be the question word which is used to know about place. Why are you crying? Why will be the question word which is used to know about reason. And which cakes would you like? When you have options and you have to choose something, we use the question word which. So now I have told you about which question word to use when. So let's try and match the pairs. When will be used for time, date and day. Where will be used for place. Who will be used for person or people. Why will be used to know the reason. How much will be used for money. If you want to know how much money you should give to someone or how much money do you have, you will ask how much. How many will be used for amount. For example, if you want to ask your friend how many chocolates do you have, you use the word question word how many. So let's see some activity. These are the questions I want you to solve on your own. Take your rough book and take your paper and pen and write down the answers. So let's try and solve some exercises in your workbook. I want you to open your chapter number 2 questions and let's try and solve the exercises given. First, A. Tick the questions and circle the sentences. By now, you should know which statements are question and which are sentences. You have to differentiate between both of them. So let's see the first one. Do you like dolls? It is definitely a question. So you will tick the question. Second, I drink milk in the morning. It is a sentence. So what do you have to do? You have to circle the sentence. So I want you to solve this with your pencil. Let's move on to B. Make questions by changing the position of the underlined words. Add a question mark at the end. Hinu is reading a book. So for example, let's try and solve the first one. You have to make this sentence a question. So what you will do? You will exchange the words. Is Hinu reading a book? And you will put a question mark after that. Let's try and solve the second one. She will eat a pizza tonight. So this sentence, we'll try and convert it into a question. Will she eat a pizza tonight? So that will be a question. So you just have to exchange the words, rearrange the sentence and make it into a question. And you have to put a question mark in the end. Let's try and solve the third one. Rearrange the words to make questions. Remember to add a question mark. Just like the second one, we have to rearrange the words and make it into a question. Let's see the first one. Sana's is of what the school name? So this sentence is rubbish. Okay, it is some random words. So what you have to do is you have to arrange the words, use capital letter in the beginning and use a question mark in the end. Let's try and solve the fourth one. Change the place of the underlined words to make questions. Okay, it is the same thing. You have to rearrange the sentences. Let's see the first one. There are many trees in the neighborhood. So let's try and convert it into question. Are there many trees in the neighborhood? And question mark. So I hope students, you will able to learn about questions and question words today. Thank you.